Okay, now, what we're doing here, it says set up the equation to be solved. Now, here's what I mean by set up. If I were to solve this, I'd say, okay, how many answers? 2. What do you have for x's? X second and x. So that's a factoring problem. And so the zero's here, and there's 1, 2, 3. So greatest common factor. And then the t-chart. GCF, okay? GCF, do you have a negative in front? No. You got x on everything? No. If you punch in 2, 1, and 7, you're going to get 1, so out of here with that. So A times C. So I take positive 2 times negative 7, and that's negative 14. And I'm looking for a difference of 1. Well, here's the problem with that. That isn't 1. That isn't 1. And then the rest of it, you really get decimals till you get back to 7, okay? Well, what you do is you write fail, because of that t-chart fail. And what you're going to use instead, I want you to put a musical note, and you're going to use what's known as the quadratic formula. And here's the formula. X equals, and put x equals in front of it on your sheet. And it looks intimidating, but you will get it. Okay, every other class has. You guys be no different. Okay, and there's a little song I'm going to sing 2 verses of to help you memorize it. And here's how it goes. Opposite of B, opposite of B. That says O-P-P-B. Opposite of B, opposite of B. Here, I'll cross it out and write opposite. Write the word. Opposite of B, opposite of B. Plus or minus the square root. B squared minus 4AC. B squared minus 4AC over 2A. Over 2A. Sing it again. Opposite of B, opposite of B. Plus or minus the square root. B squared minus 4AC. B squared minus 4AC over 2A. Over 2A. And all I want you to practice today is setting up that formula. Okay? So I put x equals, make a big line. Then I start plugging numbers in. Okay? Opposite of B. What's the opposite of negative 1? Positive 1. Plus or minus. So I put plus or minus the square root. And in that square root, I set up those parentheses that you saw yesterday. So parentheses to the second, minus, and then 3 parentheses in a row. And this parentheses, no matter what, gets a 4. Okay? Okay, and then I have B here. So B up there is negative 1. And then A is positive 2. And C is negative 7. It's got a minus in front of it, it's a negative. Over 2A, so I put a 2. You always have a 2 there. If it's, by the way, if you have a number on this sheet, they're always going to be there. And A is 2. Okay, that's all you need to do today. Okay, my next problem, there are 2 answers. I have x squared and x, meaning I would factor. There's the 0, so there's 3 terms. Space parentheses for the GCF and T. So the GCF, negative in front, no, you don't have x on everything. 3, 5, and 1 is going to give you a 1 GCF. Okay. So A, B, C. So 3 times 1. That gives me a positive product of 3, so I look for a sum that would add up to 5. 1 and 3 is it. 3 is a prime number. It's just 1 in itself. 3 plus 1 ain't 5, though. So fail. Musical note, okay? X equals big line, okay? And then start singing. Opposite of B, opposite of B. So the opposite of negative 5 is positive 5. Plus or minus, so plus minus, the square root, you need your square root kind of long, and then make these parentheses, okay? So parentheses to the second minus 3 parentheses, and a 4 goes there. B squared minus 4AC, so B is negative 5. And then A is 3, and C is 1, okay? There's a 1 there. Over 2, right? So 2 parentheses, and A is 3, okay? Okay, next one, 2 answers. Always say, what do you have for x's? X to the second and x. So that's a factoring problem. When you're going to need to make boxes, and the zero's there, so there's 3 terms. So GCF and the T. GCF, got a negative in front? No. You got X and everything? No. 1, 10, and 22 is 1. So it's just plain old 1, empty 1, meaning not 1x. If it's 1x, you got to actually do it. Okay? And then A times C. So A is 1, C is 22. So that's 22 positive, sum of 10. 1 plus 22 ain't 10. 22 divided by 2 is 11. That's not 10 either. Well, you don't have anything else, so that's fail. Here's a hint. They're all fails on this one. A equals 1. Oh, I don't care about that. Put the musical note, okay? A is only important if you have parentheses. X equals opposite of B, opposite of B. So opposite of negative 10 is positive 10, plus or minus the square root, parentheses to the second, minus 3 in a row, okay? So B squared minus 4AC, B is negative 10. A, or then 4, okay? A is 1, and C is 22, positive 22. And then 2, and then A is 1. Okay, leave that. I will tell you how to get the 2 answers tomorrow. Okay, my next problem, 2 answers. I have x squared and x to the first, that's factoring, and zeros there. Okay, and 3 terms, so that would be the GCF. And then the T chart, okay? GCF, I don't have the negative, I don't have X on everything. 8, 9, and 2 gives you a 1. Okay, so A times C. 8 times 2, that's 16 positive, so sum of 9. 1 and 16 is not 9. 2 and 8 is 10, okay? Then I don't really get anywhere till, 4 and 4 is 0, so that's failed, okay? Now, X equals opposite of B plus or minus the square root, parentheses to the second, minus, and then a 4 always goes here. And then B is 9, and then A and C. So A is 8, and C is 2. Okay, and then on bottom, 2 and whatever the A is, so 8. Okay.